Check, please.
Paul, we've had interesting conversations in the past about the concept of luck. I have argued with you that there are some scientific articles that say...
No, you don't agree with me.
Go on.
Agree with Darnell.
There are some scientific articles that say there are times in our lives where we do indeed get a little lucky. And Paul, you know, humble people, they like to say, I got lucky. Sometimes victims like to say that other people got really lucky. I've been on both ends. Actually.
Humble brags, by the way. Humble braggers.
I've been on both ends, you know. To be humble, you say you're lucky. And while some people who are maybe jealous of you say that you got lucky. So,
oh, yeah, you're born in the right family. You're right. I was born in the right family. And it was me that went out there and also said, I'm going to learn the things that are going to make me take advantage of this. Can you please explain the conversation that you and Darnell bored us with? And actually, it wasn't boring at all. Mo and I were sitting there just like eating popcorn. So guys, every year, I take these guys to Mexico. I take them on, and we always get into great conversations. Great conversations.
This is your Mexican mansion, which I adore and love.
So we're there. And Seth.
So sometimes, Paul, and you and I,
can I explain the situation?
You and I are like this in general sometimes, is that when we see people that we might deem...
That's the middle of the story. What are you doing?
Sorry, I thought you wanted me to explain it.
Well, you haven't explained. The whole point is Darnell and Seth started talking about luck. And Seth said, there's a video out there in which the guy talks about how life is all about luck and we don't value how lucky we get. And of course, inside, I rolled my eyes and started laughing. And Darnell said, that's BS. Go ahead. Yeah,
because I think we talked about the concept of making yourself lucky. I have grown after being 40-some years old, 41 now. I have grown into the concept that I have to generate my own luck by having a combination of being ready for a quote-unquote lucky opportunity and then taking advantage of it. And that you cannot really define the luck in your life unless you actually take advantage of it. They may be coming right past you on a daily basis. And so, you know, we hire people. Paul, you hire people for many. You have so many businesses, 8 or 9, which we joke around about the Christmas party. There's 70, 80 people there. You've done a bit of hiring, you know, and sometimes you really get chapped when people, they're offered their lucky break and they don't take it. So,
oh yeah. You know, and I think about it. I was just thinking about it the other day that I used to get so upset with people. I'm literally offering them opportunity. I said, you know, I don't think it's the right time for me. I'm like, okay. I just look at it and going, oh my God, when I was a kid, it's always college kids too. And this is what I always talk about when I sit there and say, like, this is how I know college kids are stupid. You have a multimillionaire offering you an opportunity and you say, yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm going to take it right now. I have other things going on. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like what is going on?
I don't understand this concept. And so on this trip, you know, I said there's, you know, to Seth before we started this video was, we have survivorship bias. I think that's the right bias term. We only see the luck that actually end up being the super gains. What we don't see is the thousands of lucky opportunities we all had that we just ignored, right? So like I joke with Lisa. Lisa and I are going to be, you know, married at some point. And we joke about how our lives basically it comes down to, I fell off a ski lift. I tripped on a ski pole in Lake Tahoe in 2007. And that's what led me to Lisa. That's how I met Lisa. Now, in reality, what I say is, if it wasn't Lisa, there'd been some other lucky opportunity I had to meet some other great person that I ended up falling in love with and wanting to get married to, right? Seth, same with you, with your wife. Tim meeting Laura. He fought the whole eHarmony thing. He's like, I'm not gonna, and then all of a sudden did it, and he met Laura. And by the way, and Tim wouldn't be, and Laura blew up my phone when I was in Mexico 3-4 times going where, like, I'm not hearing, not from me, but she wasn't hearing from somebody in the office. All of these things happen, but guess what? There are other things that maybe they passed up on that could have been better than this. I don't know.
So what have you, what in your grand wisdom, which I love following, Paul, is there luck and how do you make more of it for yourself?
Okay, so luck to me is an exaggerated, to me, I don't like talking about luck because to me, I feel like luck is a victim term. I like to use the word fortunate. I feel very fortunate in my life. Like, I just went to Sweden and France with Seth without Mo because Mo sucks.
Peace.
And he's wearing the watch that we got him, the super rare watch that was in the freaking jewelry store window. And every bit of me goes, you were with me. And I'm like, I don't want to buy in this effing watch.
And I texted Paul the other night and I go, hey, Paul, this is number 1 of 100.
Yeah, it's number 1 of 100. You know that?
I was drinking the champagne while we bought it. So.
And I'm going to London in September. All this fortunate life I have. Is it lucky? Absolutely. But guess what else is lucky? Guess what's not lucky? The fact that my parents said to me, you will not be a business person. You'll not be an investor. You're becoming a doctor. And I said, no, I'm becoming an investor. How is that lucky? It was me saying, no, I'm going to do this. This is my calling is. Where's the luck there? They literally told me you will not. I remember my dad yelling at me saying, you're not going into business. You will be a doctor. Okay. So I went there and did that. Is that luck? How is that luck? My whole point isn't to sit there and say, pat myself in the back. My whole point is to sit there and say, I still had to go do the steps that got me to be successful. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what situation you're born in. I don't care whatever happens to you. Your actions will lead to your results. I don't care if your father got you a job somewhere. If you're a moron, you are not going to last very long, or you're not going to do as well as you could have.
Correct.
That's just it. That is absolutely it. If Mo and I were bad, if Mo and I were bad operators of capital and deployers of capital, it doesn't matter how much money our family gave us, we would be broke eventually.
Correct.
Donald Trump is a terrible investor. He inherited $180 million in 1980, and he's only grown it to 4 or 5, whatever the number is, $1 billion. That's like a 6% return per year. He's terrible at investing. But we mask it by the fact, but I still give him credit for taking the $180 million and growing it. Mm-hmm. That's still hard enough to do. But I look at it saying, guys, it's not, luck is so overused and it's a way of criticizing. You were lucky. What you're doing is you're trying to sit there and say, it's not because of you that you made it. It's because of some other situation. But guess what? When we make it, it's all because of us. Right? Isn't that what we say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we say?
Yes.
So I don't understand that concept. At the end of the day, guys, everything is because of us. Everybody has situations around them. Everybody in this world, I don't care where you're born, what you have some sort of situation that makes you lucky in some fashion. The question is, are you competent enough to see that opportunity and take it? That's the question.
I think a lot of this is preparation. We talk about our relationship, Paul. We randomly met at a Cavs game.
Because I got up and said, hey, I just saw this. Oh, what was it based on? What was the lucky thing that happened between us that got me to get up and say hi to you?
I was sitting next to a friend on the Jumbotron.
That's right.
I was on my Instagram account, on the Cavs account, and it showed Seth with another friend of mine, and the friend of mine they both happened to be there, and I texted her and said, the guy you're sitting next to, I went to high school with. She's like, I know, you guys came up in conversation. I saw Seth a couple months later at the Cavs game, and only because of that did I go up to him and say hi, because she told me, yes, we talked about you.
I would have avoided you both times, for sure. But so the point is, folks, is I got my lucky break, but then I was ready.
Nope, even better. You got laid off. And you thought, how unlucky am I in getting laid off?
Well, that's true.
If you had not been laid off, would you have been at that Cavs game?
No, that's right. I would have been working the next day.
You never thought about that?
No, it never crossed my mind.
Seth, you probably walked away from that and thought, oh my God, my life sucks. I just got laid off.
Absolutely. The most unlikeliest day of my life.
And it ended up being the luckiest day of your life, because now you make how much money?
Like $87,000.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you owe me 12.
$7,000 better than you used to make.
That's right. Thank you, Mo. You're right about that.
That's the point. It's like if Seth hadn't have talked to my friend, mentioned, she brought it up, right? She said, oh, I have a friend who went to Walsh.
Yes.
His name is Paul Gabriel, and you said something, and she said something, and blah, blah, blah. And it hadn't been for that, I would have never gone up to Seth and said hi.
But this is playing more into my hand that was a lucky break. But my point is...
Well, it's a lucky break for me, too. Maybe not. I mean, I would have been just fine anyhow, but I think the show is better. It's better than if it was just me on the show. You add the element of it's more fun now.
Oh, it's lucky break for you, too.
Well, I mean, not as lucky, but it's still lucky.
So how do we put ourselves in better...
You don't put yourself in any better situation. You're just open to the fact that things be more open to it.
And you take advantage of situations when they come to you. You have to jump on the opportunity.
If these value investing concepts speak to you, you can join the Everything Money community. You can get the software behind Paul, and you can have all this in the palm of your hands. By joining the community, you'll be joining thousands of people all over the world who speak and communicate just like you on these topics. We help each other. We work together. We day trade. It's incredible. You get the software, you get the data, and all the amazing tools that are coming out in the future. Go to everythingmoney.com or patreon.com/everythingmoney and join today.
So everybody knows I read these near-death experience books. And in these near-death experience books, sometimes when people die, somebody, a higher power will say to them, it's not your time yet. So to me, I go, okay, that's fate. That's destiny, things like that. I don't know. Maybe this is all planned. Maybe this is a computer program. I have no idea. But the bottom line is, listen, I don't think that's as absurd an idea as other things, the Bible. But I'm just sitting there saying, I look at it going, we still have to do our own work. Seth still has to sit there, and I go, hey, would you like to go to Mexico with me and take pictures of a house?
Yeah.
You're gonna easily. How fast did you say yes to that?
I don't recall anything, but
You said fast. You said, I don't remember you saying, let me think about it. You took longer time to take my weight loss challenge where the money was free than you did to say yes to Mexico. If he hadn't have said that, where would we be right now?
You probably wouldn't ask them.
So
I wouldn't ask him again.
Recently, we have been giving some people
Listen closely.
who want to be a part of this train that we're going on a chance at a lucky break. And you have echoed the sentiments that perhaps young people can't recognize.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at a guy like Nate. Nate's still on the show. He went to Europe. He's done all this stuff, and he still does work for us, right? I think Nate realizes, like, oh, this is pretty awesome. I get to be part of his channel and brag, like, oh, man, when this thing, other people don't. That's fine. But someday people will sit there and go, like, man, I never, ever had the chance.
That's true. But Paul, in their mind, they didn't.
I don't know what to say to that.
Right? In their mind. So how do we...
I don't know what to say to that.
I guess the point of this show, folks, is we're trying to shave off a couple decades off of your life, whether it's learning investing, which for me has taken the last 10 years. I'm still nowhere near where I need to be, or just general mindset. And so how can we fast track someone to making themselves potentially more, quote unquote, fake, whatever you call it, lucky?
So I will say this, go read a lot of books about people who are very successful, because they'll always show an example of when opportunity and luck met and they took advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And guess what? The only thing you have to believe, and you have to trust me on this one, you have those same opportunities in some way, shape, or form down the road. We went to the same high school, Seth. We went to the exact same high school. There were kids in that class who were richer than me. And yet, I don't hear anything about those people.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing this? Why do we have a lot going on? Why do I know I'm going to be a billionaire someday? They were all rich. There were people. I went to the University of Michigan. You're telling me I was the richest kid at University of Michigan? Not even close. There was a kid in my class who told me one time in class, his dad had his best day ever in the stock market, 17 million that day.
Jeez. 17
million he made that day in the stock market. What's that kid doing now?
I'd be bragging about that too.
Well, but he only bragged it to me because he knew that I had money, but not talking to him. I mean, 17 million in a day. That was back in 2001, 2000.
Yeah.
And I look at that going, what's that kid doing now? I don't know, but I haven't heard. I mean, you sit there and say, wouldn't that kid have something happened? Every opportunity is always there. The question is, are you open to it? Are you going to jump on it when it arrives? Don't think about it.
I think the take home is I've found, folks, if there's any wisdom I could provide after having a few businesses, being fired from a few jobs, is I guess taking the victim role out of it. I don't call myself unlucky. Don't call myself lucky. Just keep getting stuff done.
So I've been doing a lot of reading
proficient rate
in the last 10 or 15 years about, I don't want to say enlightenment, but about being happier. And there's a lady named Byron Katie. Do you know Byron Katie? Okay, so she wrote a book called, funny thing is I'm reading it and I don't remember the Love That Is or something like that. She has this 4 questions that you ask in a situation. So this is the amazing part. Question number 2 is, so you make a statement, I am unlucky, or Paul is luckier than me. So when Seth got fired from his job, laid off from his job, he could have said, I'm so unlucky for being laid off. Question number 2 is, do you absolutely know for sure that you're unlucky for being laid off from your job? Do you absolutely know for sure? In that moment, Seth, did you think you absolutely knew for sure? Right before 9/11, people got fired from their job. Somebody in that building of tens of thousands of people, somebody got fired that day, and September 10th, and went home going, God damn it, how unlucky am I?
You're absolutely right.
So how do you know for sure that anything that happens to you is unlucky?
I guess not.
Oh.
No, you didn't know that it would have led to this and this and this and this and then. And if you'd known that back then, you'd have walked in the office, pulled out your weighing, dropped it on your boss's desk and said, you don't need to fire me. I quit. And you'd have went on your way. Right?
I was going to say Michael Moore started his book about 9/11 with a story about a guy who shit his pants on the way to the World Trade Center and went home and then turned on the TV.
Seriously?
That's how he starts the book. Yeah, it's funny.
How about the private jet crash that happened in Akron several years ago? It was actually a family office in Florida. Yeah. The guy went out for ramen noodles or something in his apartment. He's like, yeah, I went out for a little. He was like, oh, I need ramen noodles. I went out, came back. There was a plane in my freaking apartment.
Wow.
He would have died.
Wow.
I mean, the whole point is we never know for sure what's good or bad that's happening. Even illness, we don't know for sure. Because even if you have illness, what if it stopped you from getting in a car accident that would have definitely killed you? We never, ever know. That's the hard part about life, is sitting there and going, I don't know what a good break and a bad break is. All I know is that things are going to work out a certain way. And when it comes to altering your future, what's the most important is being open about opportunities that exist and also accepting things that happen. Just sitting there saying, like, listen, I don't know. I mean, listen, I find myself, I'm way better than I used to be now. I still got a lot of work to do. I find myself, like, not getting upset now when something happens. Just going, okay. Before it would be like, what the heck? I don't know what's going to happen from it. Now, doesn't mean I don't live my life still and try to prevent things. I don't sit there and not wear a seatbelt. Just going, hey, maybe if I don't wear a seatbelt, I'd get flung from the car as opposed to getting smashed. But no, I still have to live the smart life. I still have to sit there and go, hey, I'm still 1,000 times more likely to survive a car accident if I'm wearing, I don't know that's the exact number, so don't quote me. Whatever the number is, we still live our life a certain way because there's still going to be plenty of opportunity around us. Plenty of opportunity around us to go have good things happen.
So in the end, we hope you keep your mind a little more open. Maybe your lucky breaks are happening right in front of you. And go on.
In our chat, guys, we have a whole thing about mentality. This is all about what we talk about in our community. We don't just talk about investing.
Yeah.
Mindset's a big factor of it. And I find myself gravitating towards people who look at the glasses half full kind of aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, okay, what can we do here? What can we do here? How do we make a better situation out of something? Right?
Yeah. That's our take. Watch more of our videos. Mindset is incredibly important, and we do a lot of videos on them. So no stocks in this video, no income statements, but just a fresh...
This is just as important.
Just a fresh outlook, and it's really helped me, really helped me, Paul, in the past 4 years, knowing you, and of course Mo. So
where do I send my bill?
Subscribe, fondle that thumbs up. I love you to death. See you next video.
Should we say thumbs up?